Hey kids, would you like to be a rock god the likes of David Lee Roth in his heyday? Then you need to get the
Rikki Roxx Rock God Starter Kit.
Each kit comes complete with black nail polish, eyeliner, sparkly scarf, an actual chick magnet, a velvet jacket to make all the girls go wild, and an over-the-hat skull cap with bandana accessory. Act Now will also include a handy booklet showing you all the best places to wear your sunglasses at night. Regularly a $29.95 value, now yours free when you take advantage of this fabulous offer. But don't act just yet. We'll also throw in a wall poster chart diagramming all the best rock faces to enchant your audience, proven to wet the ladies' panties in mere seconds. For all you newbies, this great kit also includes a CD demonstrating how to push your voice for the radio, taught by Rikki Roxx himself. So quit being a big puss and man up rock style with the
Rikki Roxx Rock God Starter Kit.
Now yours for just $29.95 plus $99.95 shipping and handling. Call now. 1-800-ROCK-GOD. That's 1-800-ROCKGOD. Now. Operators and tattooed hookers are standing by to take your order.
Did you wake up this morning with a nasty rash and nothing but regret? Did you go home with a sweaty bass player last night? Did you wake up wanting to chew your own arm off because some skank's laying on it? Are you feeling a burning itching sensation in your crotchal region? Do you feel like you need to scratch your ass with tree bark? Are you walking around like you were banged with a Scud missile? Did you meet someone at the bar you thought would actually call you back? Idiot! Then you need Skankosporin. It'll cool that burning sensation before you do the walk of shame to the cab. That's Skankosporin Itch Paste.
Available at In-N-Out Party Stores, Bottles and Stuff, 8 Mile Liquor, and Cunningham Drugs.
I'm following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Rikki Roxx, Rikki Roxx. It's Rikki Roxx, coming out of the box. Bitches come in flocks, trying to steal his jocks. He needs to be contained with padded rocks. It's the Rikki Roxx Show, spreading like the pox. Rikki Roxx, Rikki Roxx. Rikki Roxx, Rikki Roxx, yeah. Rikki Roxx, Rikki Roxx. Rikki Roxx, Rikki Roxx, yeah. Rikki Roxx up in your grill, motherfucker.
Okay, cut that one, and now we are good. Boom, here we are, episode number 137 of the Rikki Roxx Show, Rox100.com, and YouTube Live. Long URL for that one, so I'm not going to go through that one. I am Rikki Roxx, joined as always by the infamous Mic Dropper. He has a coffee mug now. I saw that. He's got a coffee mug, so that means he's legit.
I'm legit.
You're legit. You're like a legit singer now. You have a coffee mug. Kind of cool. And yeah, we weren't here last week. I was telling Larry the hijinks of Casting Shadowz on the road. We'll get into that in a little bit. You had your Pigweed show. That ended up happening.
Yes, that was fun.
Okay, we'll get into that in a little bit as well. We got a killer show. We're going to get into why there was no show last week. We're going to get into our beer of the week in a little bit, our Pump It or Dump It band of the week. We're going to be listening to some Rebel Priest out of Vancouver, British Columbia. We're going to get into our nuts and bolts and hard truths in just a minute. And then we're going to be talking to Chief Embry, the vocalist and rhythm guitar player of the band Wyld, Ryde, WYLDRYDE, out of Louisville, Kentucky. We're going to be talking to him in the 8 o'clock hour. Very rock and roll centric show today. Wyld Ryde is kind of like a classic rock, Guns N' Roses-y kind of throwback classic rock kind of thing. So our Pump It or Dump It this week as well is another one of those kind of bands if you're into like AC/DC and Crew kind of stuff. Very rock centric, so super cool. One thing I did need to point out at the top of the show, the song that you heard leading into the show was from a Detroit band called Killberry Unit. Their song Nothing to Fear. Unfortunately, us in Detroit, we lost lead singer Ray Killberry last week, I believe, last week. Stage 4 cancer.
Ooh.
Yeah, I thought it was lung cancer, but I also heard pancreatic cancer. Yeah, he one of the Piotr, whatever, guitar player for Killberry Unit, said that he didn't want anybody to know about it. So he'd rather just, and that's some kudos and shit like that when you have stage 4 cancer and shit like that. You're going to go. You don't want, if you don't want anybody to know. But I had seen him, somewhat recently,
yeah, me too.
Pop up here and there, and he seemed fine, typical Ray Killberry, and yeah, just in the last week, I found out from some friends of mine that he had passed away, and found out he had stage 4 cancer, and I guess it was really quick. It wasn't like a years long process. It was very quick. It went through the stages very quickly, and he unfortunately passed away. And so I was talking to Piotr and my Viking friend, and was telling him, I'm like, dude, Killberry Unit, for those of you who aren't in Detroit, they're a Detroit metal band, been around for like 15 years or something like that. A lot of different members and such. I'm like, you should do a benefit show or put a period at the end of Killberry Unit rather than have, their last show kind of be some just random show in the middle, at some point, put a period at the end of it. And he said he was going to talk to Boris and Hammer and the rest of the guys and see what they thought of doing that, and maybe have guest vocals come on and do Ray's parts, and maybe raise money for some. So hopefully the guys in Killberry Unit get back together for one more show. And those out there who are listening, make sure you share this video on all of your social medias. We got a killer, awesome show. And it'd be cool to get this to some new listeners, because that's what we do, is we are promoting independent music. And, you know, the more people that hear it, the more people that hear these bands, and more people that hear my lovely ass talk, and more people that see Larry's gun show, everybody wins. And so right off the bat, we're going to get into our nuts and bolts and harsh truths. This is the segment of the show where you guys, the Roxx 100 and Rikki Roxx Show listeners, send us your questions about anything having to do with anything. Send us an email, roxx100radio@gmail.com, if you have a question. This week, we have a question from Jamie out of Richmond, Michigan. This is a hypothetical question. He asks, I have a hypothetical question for you guys. Since you both play in bands, what are some reasons why you guys would stop playing music and give it up forever? Kind of curious. So what would it take Larry Smith to say, okay, I'm done. This is it. I'm done with music. I'm moving on with my life. I am going to do something different, and I can't do it anymore. What would it take you to make that call?
It would take a lot. I mean, music's been my happy place, you know, for probably the last 10 years, 11 years.
Yeah.
The only thing I would be able to say would maybe be health reasons. Or, you know, something happened to baby mama and I got my kids full-time, 24/7. You know, I guess that would be my main focus. So
yeah.
That's about it.
So health reasons, like you physically couldn't do it anymore.
Right.
At what point, though, because, you know, we are getting older, you know, things are starting to wear down. Things are starting to hurt a little more. You know, would you have to be would you go up there in a wheelchair? Like say you broke
until I can't speak, I'll be there.
So you could have your arms and legs chopped off.
Sure.
They throw your gourd of a body onto a wheelchair, wheel your ass up there. As long as your voice works, you're going.
I'm going.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's not some point where physically you're like, I don't have it the way I used to. You know, I don't want to slowly just start fading and losing. You know, like, you know, your kicks that you do. If one day you're like, oh, man, I can't do the kicks anymore. Or, you know, something happens with your metabolism and the guns start to turn into chicken wings or something like that. You know,
I'm too dedicated for that.
Yeah.
I think I got at least 10 more in me. 10 more good ones, I think so.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. You know, for me, you know, it's a lot of the same stuff. You know, if it came down to, you know, physically, you know, since my performance is mostly physically based, you know, moving and all that. You know, I've gotten to the point, you know, where I'm starting to think about, I can't do the rock star pose as deep as I used to. You know, I'm at the point where I have to wear knee braces now and back braces and compression shirts to kind of try to keep everything in one piece. I'm
sorry.
And a lot of ibuprofen now, and it's, you know, so I've gotten to, you know, I watch a lot of old videos of me and I'm like, man, I can't do that anymore. You know, jumping off monitors and drum risers and running across stage. I can't, you know, I don't do it anymore. I can't, you know, because my knees will buckle and I'll be that guy who collapses on stage because his knees gave out, you know? So, you know, me, I don't know if I have 10 years left, you know, I'm guessing 2, 3 maybe that I got left in me, you know, and then, you know, there's the kid thing, you know, with things changing, you know, and if it comes to the point where the kids need me around more, you know, like my daughter's getting to that age where she's going to have the extracurriculars and stuff like that. And a lot of weekend things are going to start happening, you know, it might get to that point, you know, where maybe I don't quit, but I can't do the playing out of town stuff, you know, going on the road and stuff like that, you know, and with, you know, my son, you know, eventually he's going to get to that age where he's going to baseball, hockey, football, whatever, the chess club, whatever the fuck he's doing. You know, these kids are going to have those extracurriculars that my dad was never there for mine, and that kind of irked me, so I'd want to be there for my kids and all that stuff. So, once that stuff starts kicking in, I'm going to have to give a second thought as to what I'm doing, as far as music. Maybe I have to go do the tribute band thing or the cover band thing, we
just play less shows, we'd be like Seventh Son. We'll come out once, twice a year. That's all you get.
Make your bank and you're done. Oh geez, last night I saw him counting money for that show, and I'm like, oh god, there's a lot of 20s on the table there.
Right.
So to Jamie, it seems like it's at least for Larry and I, either family or physical limitations. Me. Since my performance is not very technical on guitar, it's mostly stage performance. Once that starts to get to the point where it hurts more than it's worth, then maybe I'll hang it up and be like, okay, Rikki Roxx is done.
And just grab a stool like George Neal does. Hey, he still kicks ass.
Yeah, but they make a lot of money on Halloween, man. That's another band that plays once or twice a year. Right. And, when they play, they make the money. And that was, Halloween's like a legendary band. Right. Casting Shadowz is not a legendary band. So, oh God, what was I going to do? Oh, I was going to send more stuff out. So yeah, to Jamie, I know it's hypothetical. I'm going to probably be done a lot earlier than Larry is because he is in peak physical condition. I am not so much. So yeah, it's physical limitations and kids, and family responsibilities. I think that's pretty universal for anybody as to why they'd stop is physical stuff and family stuff. So that's what's up. Everybody that's listening out there, I see you guys are watching and all that. Make some noise. Let me know what's going on in the chat room. I hate when the chat room is just a big block of nothing. So say hi in the chat and let me know what's going on, what you guys are doing on your Sunday night. Larry, tell us about the show, the big Pigweed show. It happened. Fallen Stronger direct support was. Oh no.
The thing with that was, the promoter never worked with him before, and when he got with us to play the show, he's like, I'm going to make up the lineup. And I'm like, okay. And so he makes the lineup, he sends it to me, and I'm like, okay. I'm a little confused on why the touring band with Pigweed's not playing next to them and why they'd be like playing second.
Right.
So we get there, we load in, and of course, things change,
Yeah.
So the first band never even showed up.
Oh.
The rap band or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So they backed everybody up. So second band played first, third band played second,
Right.
So it ended up going all right. But we played before the band that was with Pigweed.
The tour support.
Yeah. Dead Reckoning, which was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But the show went great, man. Everything went great.
Was it packed?
No, it wasn't packed. There's more people for your birthday show.
I
will give you that, brother.
There it is. Rikki Roxx draws more people than touring big, huge bands.
But it was great. It was a really good show. Pigweed was phenomenal. Mannequin Pulse. Everybody was great. It was a good show. The Pigweed wanted to get out of there early after they played, but you know what they didn't? They stayed till 3 in the fucking morning.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the big deal was with,
yeah,
whatever, but.
So Rikki's show was better.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. So everybody out there, Rikki Roxx has good shows. There it is.
Yep. It was all right.
There we go. So yeah, I guess the big thing is the casting tour, at least on my plate. Can't get into too much and into what happened. I guess it's one of those behind the music things. It was a lot of drama, kids. It was a metric train wreck of yuck. I mean,
like a rock star.
I tried, and I'm like, if this is what it is, no, So okay, so this is what the quote unquote tour looked like. So it was last Thursday. We were playing at a place called Ruggers Up and Under in Kalamazoo, Michigan. This is what was weird about it. Okay, so we're doing the acoustic thing. Okay, kind of like we did at the office a couple weeks ago, except we did it acoustic, not electric. This is like a sports bar. There is a huge stage where you can put like Saving Abel or something over there, like a C-list touring band. But we did not play there. We played in a spot right inside the door where it looks like they had maybe moved a booth out or something like that to make room for acoustic acts or something like that. So we were playing on the floor, no stage, and we had to bring our own PA and all this, where 20 feet away, there's a huge stage with a killer PA right there.
Oh, wow.
Not using that, though. So we end up playing. Okay, so I'm not a huge fan of acoustic because it's kind of hard to rock out when you're playing acoustic. Mm-hmm. So there's videos and all this on Facebook, and you see me there, kind of decked out, but playing acoustic. So I'm kind of just standing there like, don't kind of shit. Don has a miniaturized set, and Chad's sitting down with his acoustic playing his leads, and Jeff's up front ripping, it was totally weird, and so it went great. We played from like I think it was like 9 o'clock to midnight, so like 3 hours or something like that, and did a bunch of covers and did the casting stuff, and met a lot of people and waitresses and the bar staff, and huge fans of the band, bigger fans of the band than a lot of people around here. Right. They love Casting Shadowz.
Hey,
it's a thing. And so it was a great time and super cool. So check it out if you're in Kalamazoo. I guess that's like the one bar, because Kalamazoo is like a college town, like Western Michigan's out there or something like that. That's like the only bar that stays open till 2, I found out. Every other bar out there like closes at 11 or midnight. So what ended up happening is, there was a decent amount of people there, people play, like pool leagues and shit like that playing, and people watching whatever's on TV sports wise. Mm-hmm. So we're playing, and then we're done. We start tearing everything down. And right when we're loading the last of our stuff out, there's like this big swath of people that come in. And, I'm out in the parking lot putting everything in the truck, and then I try to go back in. There's like a line of like 40 people out the door. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And there's just like all these college kids that just come bombarding in. And by 12:30, 1 o'clock, the place is fucking packed. And I'm like, why did we play so fucking early? And they're like, we asked like the wait staff and the owner, and they're like, well, usually acoustic acts don't like playing late at night. Usually they want to be done early, so they can hang out and all that. I'm like, no, not at all. I want to play in front of people.
We want to play a second set.
It's like if we hadn't torn all our crap down, we would have just played over.
Right.
I'm like, dude, next time we come here, we're playing from like 10 to 2. Not this 8 to midnight bullshit where it's just like families eating dinner in pool leagues, while we're playing 3 a.m. by Matchbox 20. Horrible songs. God bless Jeff Land, but he has the worst pick and cover songs. I hate every single one we play, and we're playing that. What's that song?
Out walking, I struck the stuff.
Yeah.
Let me go on.
We're playing these golden oldies.
Oh, shit.
And I am in a world of pain. Like, I hate this. It's the worst. It sounded a lot better, but it's like, God, what else was there? I think we played Nickelback. I can't remember what song it was. I didn't. I was just like, show me the notes and let's just get the fuck through it. Nothing cool was in that cover set. It was, Casting lived up to our name as Dad Rock that night, and it was, The Blister in the Sun. There it is. Peeps were singing along. Yeah, they were singing along because the median age there was about 55.
Nice.
It was an older demo. They had to get their dinner and get home before Jeopardy. And I don't. Jeff knows. He's in the chat. Jeff knows I hate these covers. They are god awful, but they are super fucking easy. So I'm like, okay, we could play cool songs, but they'd be a lot harder. I'm like, let's just get 3-chord songs down. So Jeff's like, well, I know some Matchbox 20. I'm like, all right, let's fucking send it. I know this Nickelback song and Blister in the Sun, and
it works.
And
it works.
Yeah. So there's, we did. God, this was weird. We did Killing the Name acoustic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was fun. Fight for Your Right to Party acoustic.
Nice.
That was fun. And there were some there were some other songs in there, but if you pretty much go to like any playlist and type in early 2000s alternative rock, we pretty much played them. We were going through we were listening to the radio, driving, and we happened to stumble across like this one channel that came in. It was like they played that mid 90s, early 2000s, not dangerous music, no swearing or anything like that. Bands that you can take your kids to and your kids aren't going to get offended, that kind of stuff. And probably every other song that they played on that channel, I'm like, well, that one's on the set list. That one's on the set list. It was rough, but people seemed to, and people did seem to like the casting stuff. We did, all the same songs that we always do. And I think we did one of the new one that we did at my birthday show. We did play that. And it was cool. Jeff did. And he was supposed to start with an acoustic set by himself, like he did at the office a couple weeks ago. But then Chad's up there playing, and then Jeff's like, "Hey, Rikki, you know this song?" And I'm like, "Whoa, I didn't sign on for 3 sets here. I thought I was only doing 2. This is So I ended up going up there and playing and all that. I hate doing the cover thing. I really despise it. So I told Jeff, I'm like, "Yo, dog, I understand. You make money that way, and to all you kids out there, if your goal is to make money, learn a shit ton of covers and do acoustic sets. You can make a couple $100. It is a good thing to do, but I just hate it. I personally just hate it. And I know a lot of people do too. If I want to play covers, I join a cover band. I don't personally enjoy it, but that money did pretty much pay for our gas for the entire trip. So I guess it's a thing. So then we played on Saturday, which was super cool. I hadn't played this place in probably 10, 12 years. It used to be called Planet Rock out in Battle Creek, but now it's called the Music Factory. It's kind of like they kind of get the same bands as Diesel. We were opening for Smile Empty Soul. Super cool, 2-piece band now. I guess they had just lost their bass player.
I've seen that.
So it's just a singer and a drummer. And what was really cool, because it was like a big tour package thing, and Casting was the only band on the bill that wasn't on the tour package. Right. We were the only local support. I think they had like three or four bands with them. So we do the show, and Chad's family and friends and all that, because he's kind of from mid-Michigan-ish, Lansing-ish, around in there. So we never play out there. They're not going to drive all the way out to Diesel and shit like that. And they're not going to drive to Indiana and all that. So we finally play a show out that way. So, a lot of his family and friends from when he was growing up came out. So Chad had a lot of people there and actually sold a shit ton of tickets, which was awesome by him. Right. So, drinking commenced. What happens on the road stays on the road, but I'll just leave it at that. Drinking happened, and luckily we played first, so that was the blessing in this whole thing, that we did play first. And another thing that was super cool, usually, when you're doing these national shows, the band will kind of hang out in their bus until they're about ready to play and shit like that. Smile Empty Soul, they were right up front for every single fucking band.
Oh, nice.
You know, so it's like right in front of me is the fucking drummer from Smile Empty Soul. And then kind of on the other side, a little bit further back, I can't remember the lead singer's name, the guitarist and singer. He's fucking hanging out. You know, he's not, you know, they're not at the merch booth or anything like that. They're watching every single band. Nice. You know, so they watched Casting and they watched all the bands that are on the tour support and all that. And they were just like fucking hanging out. I'm like, dude, you guys like had a hit. You know, like 25 years ago, but you had a hit.
Right.
You know, that bottom of the bottle or whatever that was. Do it for the drugs thing.
Right.
You know, so that was their thing. And they were just fucking hanging out. You know, I heard a lot of people saying they were kind of dicks, but, you know, at least to me, and, you know, I helped them load out a little bit because it was pretty much them and like one road guy. They were super cool, we played a fucking great show. I think that show, God, what the fuck was it played? Music Factory show. I think that was probably the, you know, at least in my opinion, probably the best casting show I had ever played.
Oh, wow.
You know, I've been in the band for a year and a half. I think that was the best show that casting had ever done. You know, everything just fucking worked, and everything, you know, when you play that show and everybody just seems to be on.
Oh, yeah.
You know, nobody's fucking up. Nobody's chords are breaking. Everybody's in tune, you know, and you could hear everything on stage. You know, when we started, you know, because they kind of have the floor and then tables and seats and then the bar back there. When we started, there were like, you know, everybody's hanging out in the back. Nobody knows who the fuck Casting Shadowz is, you know. So probably halfway through the set, you know, and I did a base cam video of it. You can kind of see, you know, about halfway through, people kind of start filtering up. And, you know, I went and rewatched my base cam video. I pretty much just put my phone on top of my amp and did the thing.
All right.
There were people who fucking knew our songs. You know, I saw like 2 or 3 people down there singing, falling down word for fucking word. And I'm like, I don't know who the fuck these people are, but they're just sitting there like right on the barrier, falling down, you know, singing all the fucking, I can't fucking sing, but, you know, singing the fucking words. And I'm like, this is the most bonkers shit ever. We're in fucking Battle Creek and there's 3 people there that know fucking falling down, you know? So, you know, it was a great show. You know, like I said, probably the best casting show, at least that I had ever played. I got off the stage, and minus some drama that was waiting for me off stage, you know, I was super stoked. I had a great show. I did great. Jeff did great. Chad did great. Donnie did great. You know, everybody sounded great. And, I guess the one drama thing that kind of happened, I was talking to one of the bands on the tour package, and tell me if this sounds weird. Okay, so all the bands, you know, on the tour package were supposedly getting a sound check, okay? And Casting's the first band, so, you know, we're the last band to load up and all this, and we put our stuff up there, and they do a sound check. And, you know, it was after we had played, and I think a couple bands had played, one of the guitar players in the tour package was like, dude, did we sound okay? You know, they're kind of like progressive metal core kind of stuff, kind of the band that you need to hear what the fuck's going on because there's a lot going on. Right. You know, he's like, did we sound okay? I'm like, yeah, you guys sounded fine to me, you know? And he's like, I'm like, why? What's up? And he's like, for some reason, oh, and I'm going to give you a band don't at the end of this, something you never do. It'll kill your career. And this band did it. They're like, we didn't get a sound check or anything. They just kind of schlepped us up there and said, go. But you guys, you know, you guys sounded great, but you are the first band. You're the local band. And you got a sound check and we didn't. You know, I'm like, yeah, that is kind of fucked up. Do you kind of agree? You know, that the local band gets a sound check, but the band on the tour package doesn't. Right. You know, kind of fucked up. If anybody's going to get shortchanged, it should have been us. Right. You know, and here's the band don't. Something you don't ever do. And this band did it, and I heard it, and I kind of laughed, but in my head, I'm like, this band's never going to play here again. Start bitching out the sound guy when you're on stage.
Oh.
Like, this singer was just going off, you know, at the end of their set. He's like, I'm going to start a petition, you know, that all touring bands are supposed to get sound checked, and, you know, sound guys that don't sound check bands, fuck them and all, you know, kind of this kind of deal. I'm like, I'm laughing because I love this kind of drama shit. But that's a big band no.
Right.
Don't ever do that. Because what ends up happening is now you're the band that bitched out the sound guy. That sound guy probably never has bands bitch him out publicly.
Right. So
that band's going to be in his head. And next time that band comes through, that sound guy has a lot of pull with, promoters. All sound guys do, that band's not going to play here. And if they do, they thought their sound sounded shitty that last time.
Right.
I'm just going to start fucking everything up and just moving sliders everywhere. I'm going to make pretty designs on the mixing board. And just, if they sound like shit, they sound like shit. I don't care. Right. Because it's not like these guys are a huge national band. This is a band that had brought on to a tour.
Mm-hmm.
So they ain't shit.
Right.
They mean absolutely nothing.
No.
So, when you're in a band, you pretty much have to kiss ass, and not make an asshole of yourself. There's a lot of people on this tour run that made assholes of themselves. So what happens on the road stays on the road, Rikki. So that show was really good. Like I said, a lot of drinking happened and a lot of shit happened. Stay tuned for the behind the music for the full details on that. So we get back to the hotel super late, and this is what kind of sucked, because we played Kalamazoo. It's only a half hour from Battle Creek. So I'm like, dude, we don't have, and we were at the same hotel for 2 nights. So I'm like, we don't have to check out or anything like that. We can sleep in. So let's have a little fun on the first day. We can sleep in. We don't have to be at the Music Factory till like 5 or 6. So let's have some fun in Kalamazoo and, drink a little bit, and we can sleep in and everything's fine. That didn't happen so much in Kalamazoo. It happens in Battle Creek, where the next day we have to wake up fucking early and drive to fucking Kentucky. That's the show everybody decides, this is where I'm going to throw down. So a lot of fucking drinking happened. And we made it to Kentucky the next day, a couple hours late, and more drama ensues in Kentucky. A lot of yelling, a lot of middle fingers. It was a thing. And this was kind of like a smaller show. There were probably 20 people there. 21st of Germantown is an awesome place right by downtown. But I guess there's a lot of stuff going on with like horse races and shit around then. So it was cool. There were some people from Detroit that had moved down to the Kentucky area who came out. So it was cool to see some faces from home, I guess. And, it was super cool, but the thing about Kentucky is bars stay open until 4. So we're like, okay, we were headlining the night. Jeff likes to say headlining. I like to say playing last, so we played and did our thing. Everything was great. My bar tab was really expensive. I didn't know drinks were that expensive. It ended up being too much, but we go into the other room. Karaoke goes down. Drinking commences. I get middle fingers. I throw middle fingers. I yell. People yell. It's a thing. And next day, got in the car, and the plan was to be home in time to do the show. My plan was to leave at like 8 in the morning. That obviously didn't happen. Ended up not leaving till like 11, and traffic, we had to pretty much go back the same way we came. Rather than go straight up from Kentucky to Detroit, we had to go through Indiana and back through Michigan. So instead of a 5-hour thing, it turned into a 9-hour thing. And, by time I got home, by time I realized I wasn't going to make it, that's when I sent the text to you and Howie and Rob Kaminsky from the Creeping Chaos. I'm like, yo, I'm not going to be home in time to get the show. Stuck in traffic, have to backtrack the whole damn way. Ended up not getting home till probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock last Sunday, and just went to bed and then went to work this whole week. So, the Casting Shadowz tour, it was drama filled, great shows sprinkled in all the drama and bullshit. But yeah, it was cool. So next up, we got the Kaleido show on Friday. Diesel should be safe. Not on the road, safe. I'm 5 minutes from home. This should be okay.
We'll see.
Keep the fingers crossed. That's the problem. Now we're home, and now people can show up and safely drive home. Right. What's going on in the chat? Drunken Dad Rock. That's what Casting Shadowz plays. He says, play to the crowd, middle-aged crowd. Bob Surgott, you should be an expert on what that song is all about by now. Goo Goo Dolls. I don't think we play any Goo Goo Dolls. Metal Malicious Horns Up. Melinda, what's going on? Horns Up. You ever see Joey and Christina do acoustic covers? They pack it in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did. I don't know why they gave up doing that, because now Chris is out in LA now. So I don't know why they gave that up. That money must have been sick, though, doing all those acoustic things. Only have to split it between two people who are dating. Right. So it's like, well, your money's my money. So I'm going to Diesel show and flicking off everybody, says Bob Surgott. Jeff Land, be clear, though. No drama between band members. Just a whole lot of others. Yes, true story. The band was fine. It was just drama outside of the band. And God bless Jeff. He told me probably about a half dozen times. He's like, dude, I saw all this stuff going on in my periph, and I just put the shades on or the blinders on and just didn't pay attention to any of it. And it was everywhere. There was so much drama going on that I'm like, this is too much even for me.
Damn.
And you know how I love drama. It was it was coming from 100 different angles, and I'm just like, fuck, dude. And it could have been a very sticky situation.
Right.
But it's a thing. What do we got to do? We're coming up at 7:30, it's 7:45. We have to get to our Pump It or Dump It band of the week. We have to get to our beer of the week. We have to talk to Chief Embry from Wyld Ryde in the 8 o'clock hour, probably 8:15, 8:20. Anything else going on with you, Larry? Anything happened since I haven't talked to you in 2 weeks on the show? Had the kids.
Of course, yeah, same old. No. Yeah, kids. It's my life, other than the band. No, not much. I mean, we got a show in June at the Diesel, Battle of Bands.
Oh, God, why? Why? Dude, Casting did one last year, and I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm 14 years old.
Right.
I hate it. It's so, why are you doing a Battle of the Bands? Like, what is the draw of it? Those things are rigged. Horribly rigged.
It's just another show to me.
But you're not going to get paid.
Right.
At
Wait
least,
a second. Do I really get paid anyway?
at least if it's like a local show or something like that, you might get $30-$40 out of it. But it's like a Battle of Bands, so it's like you're bringing, I get why promoters do it, because the band's like, well, if I bring a shit ton of people, I'm going to win the big prize, the $500 or $1,000 or whatever it happens to be. But those things are horribly, horribly fucking rigged. Like, it's stupid.
It's like the DMAs.
I really think a lot of bands got screwed on. I mean, I love.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna put this out. Real quick thing on the DMAs. I love Dead and Five. Okay, they're very good friends of mine. I love Dana. I love James. I love Bob. I love Brent. I love everybody in that band. They played one show last year.
I know.
One show. And it was at the New Dodge Lounge. I booked it. They played one fucking show. And they won the DMA for best hard rock. Hard rock, metal, whatever it was. They won. And they played maybe two shows. I'll give them benefit of the doubt. Maybe there was another show in there somewhere.
Right.
But the one show that they played, I booked, and there was nobody there. I mean, there were people, but it wasn't like packed out gangbuster shit. It was a Halloween show.
All right.
Like last October. They hadn't done shit. And I love Dead and Five, love them. But you had Cyanide on there. You had Cougaran on there. You had Casting Shadowz on there. Casting Shadowz played fucking Blue Ridge last year.
Right.
We went on tour last year. We played probably 20 some odd shows last year. Cyanide, they gained a lot of traction last year, played a lot of big shows, made big name for themselves. Cougaran, they've been around, they play all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Dead and Five played 1, maybe 2 shows. Won the fucking Detroit Music Award for best. I'm like, no. Really? Come on. Come on. I mean, even Dana and James got to be like, I don't really think we deserved this one. Kind of fucked up. DMAs, what are you doing? I mean, I know it means absolutely nothing. Chris Slabnik, he's very big on how they mean absolutely nothing.
I love it though, because
George and
I'm in
the same. I get it.
Like if I won one, like I said, let's go live and burn this month.
I get it. I get it. Any award is pretty much pointless. South of a Grammy,
right?
But it does a little for the ego to be recognized.
Oh, for sure.
And that's it. I know it means absolutely nothing. It'd probably end up in a fucking box somewhere. It's something I can give my kids one day. Hey, your dad was recognized for something at some point by some blowhard in a retirement home somewhere. Somebody recognized me. And they gave me this dumb little award for it. It's something tangible to hold that you were recognized for something at some point by somebody. Right. So yeah, it's going to do nothing for your career, but recognition is kind of nice. And I like trophies, but so that was my little DMA rant, but going to be drama between a singer and a video director if we still have to get that Trust video done. So yeah, we're gonna get to our Pump It or Dump band of the week. If you're into bands like Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, and Motley Crue, you might be into these guys. They're a 3-piece band out of Vancouver, British Columbia called Rebel Priest. They have a new EP coming out June 24th, so in about a month, via Batcave Records. Their new EP is called Lesson in Love. Facebook.com/Rebel Priest Official. Info on these guys compared to last year's EP Lost in Tokyo, which was written in Japan at the very end of 2019 about their adventures in the country. Lesson in Love takes a new avenue, as they explain. On this EP, we really tried to lighten it up and go back to the energy and feel that got us playing the first place. Music for and adventure or memory-making music, the soundtrack for that summer you'll never forget, or that time you did that thing you'll always think of it when, this is a horrible quote, when you hear this song. It's a feel-good and takes no prisoners combo at the same time. So, good old-fashioned rock and roll, I guess. Last week we had Saving Jackie out of San Antonio, Texas. Their song, My Faith is Larger, only got 6 votes, so probably not going to be hearing from them again. So we're going to play some Rebel Priest, Vancouver, British Columbia. Then we will come back, Beer of the Week. We're doing this all backwards today, but yeah, so here it is, the Pump It or Dump band of the week, Rebel Priest, Vancouver, Lesson in Love, right here, episode number 137 of the Rikki Roxx Show, right here on Rocks 100.com.
You claim you know me, I know the score.
right. What'd you think of that one, Larry?
Thought it was very 80-ish. It wasn't bad.
80s-ish?
80s-ish? 80-ish?
Very repetitive.
Yeah.
I think you know the name of the song now.
Yeah.
So if you guys dug it, head on over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Roxx100. Find the Pump It or Dub It Band of the Week post. Give it a thumbs up if you dig it. Give it the face if you didn't dig it so much. Like I said, this is going to be a very rock-centric kind of classic throwback kind of rock thing. So yeah, we're going to get right into... God, I wish you would have waited till the video came on before you smelled this thing. Larry's face, he's got another like quarter or third glass pour of this one, so this is going to be an interesting one. Beer of the week, my favorite segment of the show. Ooh, that was a good one. All right, this week I'm going to show the can. It's yellow, but the green screen has it looking all gray and weird. This week, we have a beer from Fair State Brewing Cooperative out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is their Hefeweizen, 5% ABV, 12 IBUs. This is a German wheat beer. That's what a Hefeweizen is. Description on this one, a traditional wheat beer, pale spritzy with plenty of banana, clove, and vanilla notes, all from the yeast. No banana yeast. Been there. No bananas were harmed in the brewing of this beer. We can condition this year's batch for even more bubbles. So there's bubbles in this one. Larry. Beer Advocate gave this an 8.9 out of 10. I picked this up for $11.99 for 4 1-pint cans from Parkway Beverage in Clinton Township, right there on Groesbeck Highway. If you're into that kind of thing and the face Larry is making, pick it up. Larry, the smell? That was the first thing.
The smell, it smells like mixed Gerber baby food juice to me.
Oh, it does.
It does, I know. It's like juicy juice or something.
This smells like the crap I'd give my kids when they were babies, like that banana Gerber food.
It's really smooth. And it does have a hint of vanilla. I don't know about the clove.
I don't even know what clove tastes like. It's in beer all the time, but I have no idea what clove is supposed to taste like.
It's nice and clear. And it's not, honestly, it's smooth and it doesn't have a bad aftertaste or a bite to it to me. Like I could drink this. Okay,
so this is the biggest turnaround ever because when you smelled it, you were almost gonna vomit all over the studio, and I'd have a cleanup to do here, and we'd be on a song break for the next 20 to 30 minutes. You were gonna throw up for a second, and I'm like, oh no, this is gonna be an easy 2. You know, Larry ain't gonna drink this. And now it's kind of like, oh, it kind of looks like a Mick Ultra. Oh,
it's kind of light like a Mick Ultra.
It's smooth. It's I could drink this. That's a big change.
Yeah. Well, you know, when I first smelled it, I was like, the fuck is that smell? Oh, it's baby juice. Okay, it's not so bad now.
It literally does smell like if you got that Gerber banana baby food shit. It smells just like it. This takes me back to when my daughter was a baby. This beer takes me back to when my daughter was a baby. I'm like, oh, those were the days. Yeah, it definitely smells like banana Gerber.
But it's not bad. Like, this is probably the best one so far.
No shit.
Swear to God.
This is a big change. I thought this was going to be a 2. What are you going to give this one? Scale 1 to 10.
To give it at least a 7.5.
Best one so far? You're giving it a 7.5?
Yeah, I mean, well,
you give it 9s on this show. Now you're like, oh, this is the best ever. 7.5.
Well, then I'll give it a 9 because I like it.
Wow, you're easily convinced. You went from a 7.5 to a 9.
Well, you know that one beer. I gave it a 9 because it matched every criteria on the can. You know,
right?
It tasted like shit, but but they were spot on. So hey, but no, this is good. This is definitely a 9 for me, for sure.
Okay, well, it is smooth.
Like, where's that whiskey taste?
You know, okay, it is smooth. It's not a dry beer. You know, it's not going to dry your mouth out or anything like that. You definitely do get that banana taste, although it's not as predominant as the smell of it is. You know, when you smell it, it is straight up baby food. When you taste it, you still kind of taste it, but there's a little bit more of the vanilla hit on there that kind of dilutes that banana taste. You still definitely taste the banana in there, but it's kind of watered down by the vanilla and probably the clove. I'm sure that's in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. Very drinkable beer. You know, its drinkability is really good, and I mean, this is interesting because I normally don't like wheat beer. I normally don't like German beers. I got this because, one, we never do Hefeweizens or anything like that, and I thought it'd be different. As far as this kind of beer goes, it's better than any that I've had before. So with that, I'd give it a 9. But as far as my personal preference on beer, I'd probably give it a 5. Just because, you know, like you said, you like the light, clear beers. Me, you know, if it's like it's the color of this is like dehydrated piss. You know, when you obviously need more water, but you go to the bathroom and you're like, oh my God, I need to drink some Gatorade. That is almost orange. Mm. You know, it's kind of got that color to it. I'm typically not a fan of beers of this, you know, color, I guess. It kind of has that, you know, your normal ale kind of color, I guess. And, but its drinkability is really good. And it is pretty much exactly what they say. You know, you get the banana, you get the vanilla, you get the clove, and it's spritzy, it's light, but it's also smooth and drinkable. So with all that said, yes, this is a very good beer. You know, if I'm judging it unbiased on my personal taste, I'd go right there with a 9. My personal taste, if you take that into effect, I'd give it a 5 or a 6. I'm not a fan of this kind of beer, but it is what it says, and I've had these beers before, so I'm going to go unbiased. I'm going to go a 9 as well on this one. If you like Hefeweizens or wheat beers, this is definitely one you're going to want to get. Very good job on this one. And you know, would I get it again? Yeah, this is something I'd probably keep in the fridge, and you know, if it wouldn't be the worst last beer I've had in my fridge before, you know, where you're like, God, I got nothing but this. You know, this is a good back of the fridge. You know, when you're out of everything, you won't be disappointed with drinking this one. So, yep, I'm going to give that one a 9. Larry gives it a 9. Fair State Brewing Cooperative out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and their Hefeweizen, 5% ABV, 12 IBUs, $11.99 from Parkway Beverage in Clinton Township, Michigan. Nothing's really going on in the chat, but there are people still hanging out in there, which is super cool. Shout out to Bob Surgott and Jeff Land and Metal Malicious Horns Up. She was hanging out there too. If you're in the chat, say hi and let us know where you're from. I got to do a quick change out here of music videos because we're coming up on 8 o'clock. Actually, we're gonna play a couple songs here. Because I told him it probably wouldn't be till 8:15, 8:20 until we talk to him. So let's go into the music archives and see what we have here, and we can play. All right. Well, what we will do is, since we didn't talk about. Did you want to talk about Howie's thing yesterday? Well, about the show, not the drama that ensued. You know, but I did promote the show on Roxx and Hunter. We were supposed to have him on the show to talk about it last week. The quick rundown of it, I didn't show up till, you know, later on because I had gone out on Friday because it was supposed to be me and the wife's anniversary. So I'm like, we're not celebrating that, so I'm going to leave. Went and hung out and drank a little bit. So Saturday I wasn't sure, you know, what I wanted to do, you know, so I did end up going out to Diesel. Probably didn't get there till about 8 or 9, and packed show. There was Iron Maiden tribute, Black Sabbath tribute, some independent bands. 10,000 Teeth were playing, Catharsis played, Soldiers of Scrape played, all phenomenal bands. Did Manic Impulse play?
They were supposed to, but they got left out. Let's just say that.
They got left out. They were supposed to play, got left out. I wasn't there for that. But yeah, they got left out. But it was a killer show. Tons of people there, a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a long time, and it was super cool to hang out. Stayed pretty much until the end because for some reason Diesel is horribly short-staffed with the number of people there. They had 2 bars open and 1 bartender at each, and there were a lot of people there. And so it was a little short-staffed, so I didn't get to drink as much as I wanted. That's why I'm awake and chipper today. So thank you to short-staffed Diesel for getting me not hammered. So what we're going to do is we're going to play, let's play some Creeping Chaos, because we didn't get to have Rob Kaminsky on the show last week. So we're going to play this, and then we're going to play a music video from Wyld Ryde. We're going to be talking to Chief Embry in about 20 minutes, and I got to send him all the info and all that, and then we're going to get him on here to talk about all things Wyld Ryde, Louisville, Kentucky's finest, and see what kind of trouble we can get into. So here is Creeping Chaos, All Kinds of Hell, and then we're going to follow that up with some Wyld Ryde right here, episode number 137 of the Rikki Roxx Show, Rox100.com. right. Well, there's that. There it is. A Gasoline Alley by Wyld Ryde. Larry, what do you think of that one?
Fucking, I love that, man.
Yeah?
That brought me back to, like, you know, my old Motley Crue, maybe some Sebastian from Slave to the Grind album. Yeah, I dug it, man. I dug it. I'd listen to that every day.
Wow, Larry, the big metal guy, into some Wyld Ryde, Louisville, Kentucky, huh?
Good old Kentucky.
Good old Kentucky. And we are going to see if we can get a Chief Embry on here, and lead singer and rhythm guitar player of the band, and see if we can get him on here. I love Zoom. Let's see if it works. Connecting to audio and cannot hear you yet. Okay. He's there. I love technology. I love technology. I know we're a little bit early. I did tell him 8:15 and it's 8:07. So I don't know what you do in Kentucky when you have time to kill, but I think we can use our imaginations. And big rock and roll lead singer. They doing lead singer things. All right. Well, this is awesome. All right. So what's going on, Larry? You got any big plans for the week?
For the week?
Yeah. Something changed. Nope. Still nothing. Yeah. Any plans for the upcoming week, man? While we're waiting for Chief to get on here?
No, I have nothing planned, honestly.
All right.
You know, my guitar player is still in California, so no band practice tomorrow.
What, Donnie's out? Oh yeah, he was going to California.
Yeah, he's been in Cali since Tuesday, so
okay.
he'll be leaving tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So you don't do a band practice unless the whole band can show up?
No, we can for sure.
Oh, but you're not gonna. I mean, like, fuck it. We played a show, so
whatever.
Yeah, casting. I think we're getting together Wednesday. Work new material. I think we know the old stuff good enough to where we don't need to practice it anymore.
Us too.
So I think we're going to start finally getting down to work on new material for the new casting record. I think I don't know if I talked about it on the show, but I think we got like 10 or 12, ideas and kind of fleshed out songs, like brand new casting stuff. Mm-hmm. A lot more heavy than the older stuff, and
nice.
Jeff is channeling his Larry Smith on some of these. I think a lot of fast. That's
all right, because I'm channeling Jeff on some of his shit too.
Oh, so we're gonna do the switch here. Casting's gonna turn to Fallen Stronger. Fallen Stronger's gonna turn into casting.
Maybe on a few songs.
Oh, well, here it goes. All right. Going back to the chat while we're waiting for Chief over here. Bob Surgott, I asked where everybody's from. He said he's from Detroit, now in the Seafield now. That's Chesterfield. Metal Malicious Horns Up. She wanted me to play some X Method. I just saw that. I do have some X Method, so if Chief falls through, we'll play some X Method. I'm in Detroit. She says, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I now live in San Francisco. Wyld Ryde played the Crowfoot last year with X Method. Bob Surgott said Wyld Ryde is a fun band. When Backwoods Bash will happen?
Ooh, that's probably October sometime.
Probably October. Yeah, I heard that's going to happen again. Well, it's not going to be Drag Saw's thing anymore, from what I heard from Keith. Keith, he was going to take over the Backwoods Bash, and Drag Saw, Drag Saw's up in the air, but there will be a Backwoods Bash, from what Keith told me.
Yeah, last year's Backwoods Bash wasn't Drag Saw's. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Manic Impulse really put that on. Maybe I could be wrong, but I'm pretty positive on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
People have been talking to me for the last couple of weeks about Bacchus. I'm like, I kind of don't want to ever go there again, because every time I go, it gets hairy. It gets rough. There was that one year I threw you guys under the bus at Bacchus,
and Dave started while we were talking.
Yeah, and I was like half of a half gallon of Jack Daniels in, and you had classic Rikki Roxx the whole rest of the night. I'm like, fuck these guys, fuck that. And then after you played, I was introducing a band, and I was like, because because I was still livid over Yanity playing over me. And I was like, what band are you never going to hear on Rocks 100 ever again? And then everybody's like, Fallen Stronger. I'm like, damn fucking right. And here the fuck you are.
I'm in your house, Rikki.
You're in my house. Now you know where I live. So I don't know what's going on with Chief here. I guess.
Ooh, I guess caught the clove in that.
Oh, was it something that sat on the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, this might have been something that he had to shake up or something. Okay, drama's happening in there. I'll deal with that later. Chad has he's got a trailer. That's very nice. Oh, cool. Looks like when casting goes out again, we have a fucking trailer.
I just bought one too.
Yeah, an 8x12 with loading ramp, side door with lock and key. Wow, that looks like a nice fucking trailer. Look at that. I mean, you take all that fucking garbage out of there. It's fucking nice. He said he wants to paint it up, put casting shadow. That's nice. Fuck yeah, dude. Look at that. Fucking Chad. Look at you.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right. So, that's drama. So I don't know what's going on with Chief over here. Chief. Okay, let's try that. And now let's see if we can bring him back in, see if that helps. Because I wasn't even getting any video or anything from him. Unless he's literally waiting till 8:15.
Couldn't be.
This is like one of those professional bands. They're like, dude, 8:15. You said 8:15. So
Schedule, bro. Schedule.
Schedule. Well, I did say like 8:15-ish.
Right.
You know, so I'm like, okay. So this is horrible. Let me check my email, see if I got anything from him. No, I haven't gotten anything from the guy. I sent it. Well, he's in the fucking thing. Well, this is awkward as shit. Like nothing. All right, let me try. God, I hate sending emails like while I'm on the air. Having problems? I don't know what the fuck to say. I'm like, having problems. So yeah, what we can do. All right, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna throw another music video in here because they did want to hear X Method for Tony. I think he's the guitar player. He is in the hospital right now, so I just gotta find out where the hell I put it because I was not planning on playing that. So yeah, okay, here we go. We're gonna play some X Method and their song. God, I don't even remember what the hell it's called. Triangles and Sixes. We're going to do it. All right. So here it is. Triangles and Sixes. X Method for Tony, who's in the hospital right now. Hopefully we can get Chief on here and get him on the line and talk about Wyld Ryde. But right now, here's some X Method right here on the Rikki Roxx Show, rocks100.com.
slogan is modern time. Technology is the key, keep the media full. Now you're bound to their rules. Corporate dictators rob you at will. You stupidly swallow and they choose the pills. They're writing you off, they're watching you fall. So what will it be? Well, I see cycles and zigzags, inconstant flames in a world full of chaos and misery. Create and vengeance perpetually blind. You left me no option, I must survive.
Right. We are back again. I have been trying relentlessly to get in touch with anybody from the Wyld Ryde camp. I was talking to their manager, Rick, and he's like, I don't know what's going on. The thing with the Zoom thing, and this is why I don't like doing it over email, okay? Because he's like, well, just email him the link. And Chief sees it. He's signed on. He's here. You know, he's in the participants thing here. He's in the queue, but I'm getting 0 video, 0 audio, nothing. So I don't know. I don't know how to handle it at this point, because usually when you admit somebody, the video will pop up and they're there, or at the very least get an audio signal or something. But I'm getting absolutely nothing from Chief Embry from Wyld Ryde, which kind of sucks, because this has been an interview that I've been trying to get lined up for months, and just scheduling things happened, and finally got to make it happen. And you know, for some reason he's not connected to here. I don't know why. Nothing's popping up, and I guess I'll just leave it on, and if he happens to make some noise, we'll switch over to him. Back in the chat, we played some X Method, and got throws out there. Tony from the band just had open heart surgery. They're in the hospital right now. So a quick recovery, Tony. Hopefully you're good. Hopes and prayers for a smooth recovery with that. I know it gets kind of sticky when you get into cracking ribs open and doing things in there. So hopefully he's good. She's there with him. Tony says he really appreciated that. He so misses playing. He's got 6-week recoveries. That doesn't seem like a lot.
No.
You know, when you get your, don't they have to like break your ribs for that? For like open heart surgery?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to like
sternum right there.
Yeah, you got to crack your ribs and all that, and go in there and putz around and put stents and stuff in there, and
unless they go like up through your leg and that way.
Ugh.
Put the stents in, they can do that too, huh?
Up through your leg?
Yeah, like right up by your groin that way.
Oh no!
Yeah, they
just let me go at that point. Don't be putting stents in anywhere near my balls.
No. They put that way up in there.
Well, no, but they're dicking around making little cuts down there. I'm like, one little slip, and it's more than just my heart. My heart will be broken at that point.
Your little heart, huh?
I'm gonna need more stints to mend my broken heart. If you slip and lob something off you're not supposed to lob off. So hopefully he's gets better and he gets back out there and he can play and all that. Bob Surgat says play some Fallen Stronger. I could. Do you guys have any music videos?
That's what I got to get with Bob about.
Okay. Yeah, I could play some Fallen Star Night. All right, so his upper aorta had 2 tears, and it was aneurysm behind his heart all the way down going to his legs.
Ooh.
And they had to put a huge kind of stent in it, so it was serious surgery, 10 hours.
Oh, my God.
Yuck. Wow. Ew, that's not fun at all. I don't even know what an upper aorta is, but it sounds serious. Is that like a part of your heart?
Upper artery in your heart, I do believe.
Okay, so it's up there and it had tears in it. How do you tear that? Come on, Larry.
A lot of stress? Fuck, I don't know.
God, that's not fun at all. And I thought you only got aneurysms in your head. Isn't that how you have like strokes? Is it aneurysms?
Aneurysm will just drop you dead, man.
Yeah, that's like when you have like a stroke. You'll get like an aneurysm. Isn't that what causes a stroke? I didn't know you could get them in your heart.
I don't know.
Now I need to do some research on what the fuck an aneurysm is. What the fuck is an aneurysm? Google it. And I don't even know how to spell it. Aneurysm. Okay, let's see what that. Aneurysm, a dilation in the wall of an artery supplying blood to a specific area, causes pain, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, rapid heart rate, low blood pressure, and shock. So I guess it's when your artery. Okay, so it can happen anywhere. Okay, the more you know.
Probably clogs it, I'm guessing, or blocks it.
Well, dilating, doesn't that mean it opens?
Yeah, it gets bigger.
So you're pretty much allowing more blood to go where not a lot of blood needs to go.
Oh, well, maybe.
So I'm assuming that might be it. Like if your arteries, dilate, like in your brain or something like that, it might throw, like when you have like an aneurysm in your brain, it throws a lot more blood at your brain than your brain can handle. So you get like flooded. Like you're flooding an engine or something like that. That's what I'm assuming. So I'm assuming the same thing can happen in any fucking artery you have. Mostly like the heart. If your thing dilates, you're pumping more blood in,
right?
Then it can pump out. Ooh, that sounds sticky. That sounds sticky. It's the main artery that circulates blood through your heart and through your legs and your arms and up to your brain. So it's a serious big main artery. That's a thing. High blood pressure weakens arterial walls, says Sophia. She works in a hospital, so I like how we're like Dr. Oz now.
Right.
Chief, come on, man. We need you here. We're learning about arterial walls and aneurysms now.
As long as we're not doing colonoscopies and shit. Which is creeping up on me soon.
So high blood pressure weakens the walls. So I'm assuming if you get high blood pressure is just when the blood has more pressure going through your arteries and all that. And it probably widens your arteries. Right. And at that point, you're pumping more blood faster to places that can't handle that much blood. That's kind of what I'm assuming. I'm not a doctor.
All right.
I mean, it's a thing. So I like how there's still people here listening to this. Like nobody's dropping off. Nobody's like, oh, fuck this. Not talking to Chief Embry, so I don't give a fuck about this show anymore. We're going to talk about arterial walls. Sophia, okay. Yes, this is where the tears was literally a couple inches from his heart and was leaking blood out of the tears, which causes the heart to pump hard and fast. That's not the kind of fast and hard pumping that you want happening.
No, sir.
Okay, so this is what I'm getting from this. Whatever that big aortal artery had tears in it, the blood was going through it and just kind of like when you make like a slip and slide for your kids and there's holes in it and that spray the water up. On the slip and slide. That's kind of what's going on. You got a slip and slide going on inside there with blood just drenching your innards.
All right. And
obviously that's not a healthy thing if blood's just fucking running rampant. And
I guess not.
Damn. Why the hell are you people still listening to this? I have no fucking idea. This is fucking crazy. Sophia, didn't you? Yeah, you just texted me on Facebook. Okay, since I got nothing, I might as well read this. Was awesome. I was wondering. I ain't getting around to that one. The drama never ends with this band. Jesus Christ. I saw some sticker. Okay, stickers. Okay, stickers. We're not supposed to be stickers. Okay, well, I'll get back to that later. It never ends. I have no idea what the fucking do. Everything's fucking going off, and I'm getting messages from 100 different people. There's drama and shit happening everywhere, and more people are tuning in now to listen to this fucking jumbled mess of a fucking radio show. So I guess we can talk about what's coming up. Next week on the show, I'm totally stoked for this one. Sonny Von Cleveland out of Palm Springs, California. I actually do have some music videos from him. I was going to play him later in the night, but if Chief doesn't pick up, I might have to play him. We'll be talking to him. You might know him formerly as the lead singer of the band Grim Trigger out of Cleveland, Ohio. And later, after Grim Trigger broke up, he was the bass player in the Wolf Hunters with a Z. Wolf Hunters with a Z. Played bass with them for a little bit, I think right up until COVID hit. And then during COVID, he left everything, left Cleveland, and moved out to sunny California. Has a beautiful new girlfriend out there and is opening a cat cafe.
Oh, meow.
Yeah, like cats. And heavy metal fucking singer. And he goes on Facebook. He's like, "What up, Facebook? I'm here at the cat cafe." And I'm like, Jesus, Sonny, how this guy was like a convicted felon and shit and spent years in Jackson Penn, and now he's in Palm Springs opening a cat cafe. And he does like motivational speaking and shit right now. So talk about a fucking 180 in life.
Right.
You know, so we get to talk to him next week on the show. Hopefully still today we can talk to Chief Embry from Wyld, Ryde. Let me check back over here again. Still nothing from him. I have no idea what the hell is happening with him. I don't know, man. Chief, what's going on? Like, email me back or something. Nothing. I haven't even heard, I've never even, like, I sent the guy the email. He obviously read it, and because he popped up in the Zoom thing. And then I wrote having problems. Nothing. I hit up the manager. And I say, is he having issues? He's not connecting. He signed on to the Zoom call, but nothing. He's like, not sure, ? No video, no audio, but he signed on as here, but nothing from him, and he has not read it yet. This isn't looking too good. Hey, Jeff Lander, does anybody want to hop on Zoom? Who has Zoom? Let's just have fun for the last half hour of the show and fucking kick it. Okay. Yeah. Who's got Zoom and wants to hop on here? And we'll talk to you. Chief Embry, I don't think it's happening. Might have to figure out how to do Zoom. So if anybody wants to hop on Zoom, hit me up and let me know. I'll send you all the info you need and we'll do it. It sucks. I was really looking forward to talking to him. They kind of had that, like you said, Skid Row kind of Motley Crue, Slave to the Grind kind of deal. I wanted to ask him about, that kind of music and Kentucky, because we talked to Ashton Blake from Native Sons from Louisville a couple weeks ago. Would like to talk about that. Wyld Ryde, as they put up in the chat earlier, played the Crowfoot, some time ago, so they get out on the road and all that. And definitely a killer band. Check them out. I believe it is Wyld Ryde 2021 on Facebook. Give them a like, throw some shade, be like, yo, I tuned in on the Rikki Roxx Show to listen to your ass talk, and got nothing. Going into the Casting Shadowz chat, they're talking about backdoors and putting Casting Shadowz logos on a fucking trailer. I guess we're going to do it. So that's going to be a thing. Nobody wants to hop on Zoom with me. This is sad. What the fuck am I going to talk about for a fucking half hour? See, I used to be able to do this kind of thing where people would kind of like flake on me, or I'd have a bunch of drunks in the studio, and I'm like, oh God, this is a horrible interview. And I'd just be able to shit talk and stuff, but I try not to shit talk anymore. Hey, get Tony on the line. Let's do Zoom. I know he's getting ready for, just got done with surgery, but let's have his ass talk.
There you go.
That would be not fun. He's probably like he's probably on so many drugs right now. He probably doesn't, he probably has no idea where he is. I wish I was there right now. Minus the heart problems.
Right,
Just the drugs. So yeah, that's what's going on. I guess we can play another music video until figure out what's going on. I should have things planned for when this kind of stuff happens, but it never fucking happens. And it's a thing. Shit, I don't even fucking know. All right, we'll do this. I haven't played this in a little bit. We'll play some Fatal Conceit. They opened up the birthday blowout about over a month ago now. We'll play some Fatal Conceit, Taking Back the Name. We'll come back and figure something in life out and figure out how to get this show kind of on somewhat of a track. So here's Fatal Conceit, Taking Back the Name. The horribly executed last hour of episode number 137 of the Rikki Roxx Show, Roxx100.com. Oh shit! I think we got him.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
I don't know if you can see me or not.
We can see you. We got you. We had to cut off a music video there. I heard something going on. I'm like, that's not part of the song. All right. So here we go. We have Chief Embry from the band Wyld, Ryde out of Louisville, Kentucky. We finally got him on here. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. Sorry, got a little mixed up here on this, but I'm here, man. I'm doing great.
You made it. Okay. So, we only got a couple we got a couple minutes with you here until we got to wrap the show. But, take us through the band. How'd you get this band, put this kind of band together? Because you kind of got that kind of throwback, kind of Skid Row, Motley Crue kind of thing going on. How do you find guys, in today's day and age to put this kind of band together?
Me and Tommy Blitz were in a band previously, and the band, of course, broke up. Like it always happens that way. But anyway, we'd been sitting around not doing anything for a little bit, and we said, you know what? Let's just go down in my basement and just start write some songs. And if we don't never get out of the basement, at least we'll be doing, we'll be playing. If it's just with each other, playing music and writing it, we'll do it. So that started out, and we were having trouble getting members, and it was just a trial and error thing. And we ended up getting a drummer, and his brother being our bass player now, and original member, Mick Watkins, joined up. And then we were going through drummers like going through socks, man. It was, we had some times where it looked pretty bleak, and Kid Vicious come in and sealed the deal, and here we are. But I mean, as far as the kind of music we play, I mean, I'm a big Thin Lizzy fan. I dig stuff like that. Tommy's real big into Metallica. Kid is a big Crew fan, and Mick's real big into Kiss and Blue Oyster Cult and stuff like that. So it just we all seem to have the similar kind. We all like the same bands too, but our favorites are what I just said a lot of. But it just, we're all on the same page, and it was just the planets aligning for us, honestly, because it definitely wasn't an easy fucking thing. I don't know if I should cuss on there or not.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
It wasn't an easy fucking thing to do, man. But this right here is half the battle, getting the right guys together, and I really feel fortunate that we are all together, and I had this lineup because it's like, man, I've been trying this for so long to get this kind of lineup together, and finally to get together. And then we just started doing doing a couple of little small shows, and it just took off, man. And it's like, here we are, and it's really going great. And it definitely wasn't. It's kind of like there was an old Bob Seger poster, entertainment lawyer told me about a few years ago. He had up on his wall, and it said "overnight sensation" in big letters over top of him. Then down underneath in fine print, it said "after 20 years."
Yeah.
Right on.
So these guys, this is just what we do, and we all love it, and we live it, and this is who we are. We're not posers. We're not trying to act like, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel or this, that, and the other. We're just doing what we do, and our influences come out the way they do, and I'm just real proud of this band.
So, somebody in the chat mentioned that you had come up to Michigan and played the Crowfoot with X Method, and that leads to, something I like to ask bands on, at what point did you guys decide, it's time to get out of Louisville, it's time to spread our wings, it's time to, maybe, venture out? At what point in the band's evolution did you guys decide that was the way to go?
Well, it was definitely early on. We were already thinking that. Like I said, in the previous band, I had done a little bit of touring around and stuff, and I knew it was what we had to do. We had pretty much done almost all we can do, and we're from Louisville, Kentucky, of course. And we did a lot here, and a lot of people know about us here. So we just, okay, let's recreate this elsewhere, like so many others have done, and that's what we had to do. We really want this to be, what we do. Fuck the day jobs, fuck all that bullshit. We want to play rock and roll. We want to carry the torch, man, because I feel like, rock and roll has now, it's kind of like it's the underground thing, which is cool, especially in America. There's a lot of this other stuff out there, the country and the rap, and I'm not knocking it to each their own, but I just really feel like, rock and roll is such a part of America, coming back from the 50s and all that stuff. I just really feel like it needs people to champion it. And that's what I feel like we do. And that's what we need to do, is just get the fuck out of town and start spreading rock and roll all over the place,
So what's been the reaction, when you leave home and you're not playing in front of your friends and family anymore, you're playing in front of complete strangers. What's been the reaction, to that kind of music when you're out on the road?
I think it's been really, really good. Of course sometimes you'll have a show where you kind of get in front of a few, but anytime we're in front of the masses, we always, and I'm not saying it to brag or anything, but we always win them over. I feel like cause you can't fake this stuff, man. And when you're up there and you're being true to yourself, and you're not freaking, trying to impress anybody as far as, you're not trying to write for the people. You're writing from your heart. And you're doing what is really true to you, and you're really being real, it shows through your playing and your songs and your stage show and performance. Man, this is who we are, and I think being real is the best way to win the crowd over. We're not fake. We're not, like I said, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, trying to bring back something. We're just doing what we do, and of course our influences come through that. So that's what I feel like. I think because we're so authentic in what we do, I think that's what wins the crowds over. We've always been asked back wherever we played at. So it's, thank God that people get it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm. So, as far as, songs for you guys, are you guys old school in the fact that, you put out an album, or are you guys kind of getting on to the new thing that's really big right now and putting out singles and keeping singles coming out consistently? How do you guys go about releasing your music?
Well, actually, right as of now, what we've been doing has kind of been a happy medium of both. We haven't been doing full albums, but we haven't been doing singles. We've been doing EPs, of course, and there'll be 4 or 5 songs on it. And it is a little different animal today in a lot of different ways, because everything's so accessible to people that they can just get on the internet and look at it and then move on down the road. Attention spans are so short nowadays. It's like, all right, on to the next. So it's kind of a little bit of a different animal in some ways. So, we have been just doing EPs for now. Throwing some videos out here and there, we're getting ready to start working on another one. Got some big outside shows coming up here in a couple weeks, and at some festivals and stuff. A festival here in our own hometown that we really do, actually, from my old neighborhood, that's thousands of people. So we're going to shoot some clips from that to put in a video and stuff like that. And we got a big biker fest coming up in July. It's called Little Sturgis, and it's like 40 grand of people. I think we're opening up for the lead singer of Save and Abel. I think we're the warm-up act for him. So yeah, it's we're just kind of trying to fill it out and see what works and what doesn't, and then go from there.
Right on. So, since we did play one of your music videos, we played Gasoline Alley earlier in the show, take us through, I guess, not only that song, but, what inspires you, since you're the singer, how do you go about writing the songs? Do you try to, just write lyrics that are feel good lyrics, or do you dig into personal stuff for your lyrics, or do you just how do you go about with lyrics?
It's funny with lyrics. I think we the way we write is we do a lot of music. We come up with the music first, and I'll kind of hum a melody to it or whatever, and record it, and then I'll go back and when I'm by myself, and a lot of the times, and I'll just start writing, and really what comes out is what's inspiring me by the music and the melody. And also it just comes out of me, what I've lived and what I've been through and where I've been at. And a lot of the times it's, about, I was raised in a pretty rough neighborhood, and a lot of my friends have, died of, gunshots and drug overdoses and going to prison and stuff like that. So, that stuff comes out a lot. And also, the whole thing about, being in a rock band. I think a lot of us rock band guys, we're cool and rocking up there, but a lot, I know for us speaking, we weren't the football captains or I wasn't anyway, the most popular in school. We were kind of like the poor kids, nerdier kids, or whatever was made fun of, and this, that, and the other. So, you have a lot of people making fun. Oh, you're playing that guitar. Come on, play me some Elvis. You're walking down the street with your guitar when you're a teenager or whatever. Your friends making fun of you, trying to keep you right where you're at. And it's like, you kind of have something about you. You want to prove them wrong. That look, I can be somebody. I'm not the like I said, the most popular in school, or I'm not the guy that gets all the chicks or whatever, but you know what? I'm a fucking rock and roller. You know what I'm saying? And this is how I'm going to do it. Right. Now I'm getting all the chicks, you know what I'm saying? but it's definitely, you're just trying to.
Oh no, we lost him. There it is. That's what happens. We lost him.
That was a good while it lasted.
I know. Yeah, it's the thing. Like I had that I can only do meetings for 45 minutes. And since I had it sitting up for 40, and it took them a half hour to get on, I only had about 10 or 15 minutes with him, you know, so I was trying to get as much as I could until the time died. I ain't got the money to pay for pro. That's like $30 a month. I ain't got that kind of money. So that was Chief Embry. Make sure you check out Wyld Ryde. It seems like a great guy, and you know, a band that wants to, you know, like you said, carry the torch for rock and roll, you know, and definitely check him out. Wyld Ryde, WYLDRYDE. I believe it's 2021 at the end of that, and go check out what they have going on. Like they said, they're doing the Sturgis thing, Little Sturgis thing down there in Kentucky. I can't remember what the old singer from Saving Abel's name is. He hit me up.
Scotty Austin?
There it is, Scott Austin. He's going to be down there doing that, and they're going to be support for them, and they're going to undoubtedly be back out on the road, and hopefully coming to hopefully back up here to Michigan. I like to check those guys out. Yeah. So make sure you check them out. We played their music video for Gasoline Alley earlier in the show. It sucks that, you know, it took that long, and we only do have about 10 minutes left on the show before we got to wrap it up. I got to go to bed, and the wife wants to talk to me about something, so I got to go deal with her. And so it's a thing. In the near future, invite Tony for a guest. Yes, we will. And we'll get him on there, talk about everything open heart surgery. Get back to the Dr. Oz talk. So yeah, Wyld Ryde, phenomenal band. Make sure you check them out on Spotify. They have a truckload of stuff up there. I'm going to pull up Spotify real quick right now to give you a rundown of their EPs and all that. So stuff for you guys to check out. Look them up on Spotify. Let me look real quick. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Wyld Ryde. Okay. What a hell of a name too. Wyld Ryde. Right. Gasoline Alley they have on there. They have their latest EP, called Gasoline Alley that they released. And in 2021, they put City Streets out. Super cool, and that's what they got out. So relatively new band. Got 2 EPs out there, enough for you guys to listen to for an hour or two on there on Spotify. Check out their music videos, everything they have on YouTube and social media, the whole bit. Phenomenal band. Check them out. We had to cut off Fatal Conceit, Taking Back the Name. I wanted to shout those guys out as well. They're going to be playing June 11th at the New Dodge Lounge in Hamtramck with Sicris and Forge the Sun. Fatal Conceit is right there in the middle at 10 o'clock. $10, 21 up, 15 if you're a young kid, 18 to 20. Definitely check it out. And people have asked me a lot why venues charge more for younger people under 21.
They're not drinking.
There it is. And there is a liability issue too.
Right.
You know, when you have 18 to 20 year olds in a bar, there's a liability thing, and it opens up a lot of risk of underage drinking and stuff like that. So that money kind of goes to kind of off cost the I guess inconvenience of having kids who can't drink.
Right.
You know, so they're buying Coca-Cola and shit. That's like $1.
Right.
You know, so the bars aren't making any money off of 18 to 20 year olds, but they want to allow 18 to 20 year olds in. And a lot of places, you know, will even allow like little kids as long as they're with an adult and all that. So that's the reason why they usually charge more for underage, and 21 and up. Obviously they're drinking, so they're going to be making money off them. So that is a thing as well. So check out all the bands. What's that? Metal Malicious, Horns Up. You know, Wyld Ryde played on your birthday bash, but at the Crowfoot. Oh, they were my competition. Nah. So yeah, okay. So I got to throw another music video up here to close the show out. We're gonna actually close it down on time today. God, what are we going to do? Let's do Sonny Von Cleveland when he was a singer. We'll do that. Next week on the show, we're going to be talking to Sonny Von Cleveland. He used to be in the band Grim Trigger, which we're going to be playing here in a minute. Trigger. I don't remember the name of the song. What the hell is it? It's a long one, too. It's God, this is horrible. I'm horrible at this. Walking Through Fire. Oh, that's not that long. Walking Through Fire. Okay, I thought it was more. So we're going to play that, Walking Through Fire. Sonny Von Cleveland we're going to be talking to. next week on the show. Walking, I got type. I don't know if that's even spelled right. But Sonny Von Cleveland spent time in Jackson Penitentiary up here in Michigan many, many years ago. We're going to get into what landed him in jail for the better part of a decade. We're going to be talking to him about that and how he got out of prison and decided he was going to change his life. He decided to go into metal. And he kicked the drugs, he kicked the alcohol, and went right into heavy metal, became the lead singer of the band Grim Trigger. They played my birthday show a couple years back with Dragsaw, Oscar Goldman Overdrive. I can't remember who else was on it. But they played it years ago, and Sonny was cool enough when I was in New Day Revolution to bring us down to Cleveland to play the Odeon down there for their Reaper Fest that they did, which was super cool. The Odeon is kind of like Cleveland's version of Harpo's. So got to play there, a super fun time, and he's always been a huge supporter of everything I do. And super cool. So after, he was in Grim Trigger, which we'll be listening to in a minute, that band fell apart shortly after my birthday show. Then he joined the Wolf Hunters, which is kind of like an industrial metal kind of band. Joined them on bass, and then COVID hit. The band kind of fractured, and he uprooted his entire life to move from Cleveland, Ohio to Palm Springs, California, to where now he has a beautiful girlfriend, Claire, and they're opening a kitty cafe. And he does like motivational speaking kind of things, and he is an up-and-coming entrepreneur out in Palm Springs. So that is a big jump from being a convicted felon to being the lead singer of a metal band, bass player in a metal band in Cleveland, Ohio, and then doing a complete 180 and opening a kitty cafe in Palm Springs, California. So we're going to talk to him about everything, the journey of Sonny Von Cleveland, next week on the show. So we're going to play some Grim Trigger, Walking Through Fire, and close this show out. Larry, you have anything you want to throw out there before we wrap this thing? I know you didn't get to talk much to Chief. You're just sitting there. And I'm like, we got 10 minutes with this guy. So I was trying to rattle off as much as I could, as quick as I could with him.
Right on. No, I ain't got much to say.
Next Fallen Stronger show, when's that?
June 11th, Diesel.
Battle of the Bands.
Battle of the Bands.
Do you know any other bands that are on there?
Yeah, you got Phoenix Rising. You got another Kentucky band on there.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor Road.
Taylor Road. We had them on the show.
Taylor Road, yeah.
So I might have to show up now just to see.
Badland, too? I think Badland's on there?
I don't know. You ain't got it on your fucking event page. So
it's on there somewhere.
It's not on your events.
Oh, no.
Oh,
yeah,
here
it is, yeah.
Okay, so back to the bricks. Battle of Bands 2022. Middle-aged Larry playing Battle of Bands. Winner gets $5,000 and a full promo pack, EPK, which means they'll make you a Reverb Nation. And on that is Taylor Road, Venom of Virtue, Badland, Cybus, Phoenix Rising, Dark Rising, Lego Limit. What is that? Legal Limit. Legal Limit. That's a dumb logo. Seventh. That's fucking weird. Oh, brought to you by Smash Concerts. That's going to be fun. So first prize supposed to be $5,000. You're just going to get paid in exposure. Second prize, you have to pay him. All right. And 148th South Street. Didn't know, clue what that is. PX Graphics. Okay. So it's a thing. And Fallen Stronger is on there as well. So get out there, and I know it's going to be completely rigged, and I'm sorry, Larry, you're not going to win.
It's okay.
Or get second prize. You're going to bring people out there and not get paid shit. Hopefully you sell some merch.
Right.
You got those new hats and mugs now.
Hats, mugs, shirts, stickers, CDs. Yeah, they're good.
Hopefully you sell some of that, because I guarantee you ain't nobody getting $5,000. This is how I know this, okay? Because I'm going to be completely honest. This is kind of like the risque Rikki here. Okay, so all these bands, I've heard of 1, 2, 3. Well, Taylor Road's not even from here, so you know they ain't bringing shit. Haven't heard of really any of these other bands. How many people you think are actually going to show up here?
Probably all my people.
So we're going to talk about 40, 50, 60 people.
Probably.
Where are you getting $5,000 from 50 or 60 people? Are they charging $100 admission?
Right.
Where's this $5,000 coming from?
Good question.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm like, this is completely fucking rigged. Ain't nobody getting $5,000. 50, 60 people are going to show up. There's going to be $500 at the door.
Right.
Enough to maybe pay the second prize guy.
Right.
So first prize is going to be somebody's going to make you an EPK on Sonic bids. The second prize, it's going to be a cut of the door. And then the promoters are going to run off with the rest of it.
Right. Right.
Larry, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Saturday, June 11th, at least go out to Diesel and have a good time.
Yeah, it's like, it's always a good practice.
Oh my God. Okay. So that, Larry, really, bro. See, you look at this and you don't see where the hell are they. Have you heard of any of these? Why are they going to give the winner of this $5,000? They're not going to make anything close to that at this show.
No, not at all.
I think the biggest show I've ever done in my life was I packed the token and I think I made $2,500. That's the biggest show I've ever. That was like 350 people in there.
All right.
I think it was about $25, maybe $3,000. I don't know where this $5,000 thing's coming from. I know Paul Cobb ain't got $5,000. He's just going to give some local band.
Fuck no.
Fuck no. Are you kidding me?
He's looking to make $5,000 himself.
I mean, the guy give it to the guy. He's a fucking hustler. But I'd look at this and be like, oh wait, these are all local bands. One's not even from here. There's probably more. I've never heard of Legal Limit. I've heard of Cybus. I've heard of Phoenix Rising. I've seen Phoenix Rising. They're good for 30, 40 people. Fallen Stronger, they're good for 50-ish people if it's a good show, if it's a good night and there ain't nothing else going on. And you run in this thing in June, you're in summer, so people are going to be outside, and people ain't going to want to. People are more prone to go outside and do shit on the lake or whatever.
All right.
Badland, I think I've heard of them. Venom of Virtue, I've heard of them. But Larry, what's going on? Okay. So we're going to get out of here. We're going to wrap this thing up. Thank you to Chief Embry, Wyld, Ryde. Make sure you check him out. This week's Pump or Dump Band of the Week, Rebel Priest, Vancouver, British Columbia. Make sure you head on over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/rocks100. Head to the Pump or Dump Band of the Week post. Give it a thumbs up if you dig it. Or, somebody's mad at me. Give it a thumbs up if you dig it. Give the face if you don't. This week's Beer of the Week is from Fair State Brewing, cooperative out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Larry gave it a 9. I gave it a 9. It's pretty good shit. $11.99 Parkway Beverage. Their Hefeweizen, super cool. Thank you to Jamie and Richmond for your awesome question earlier in the show about what it would take for us to give up playing music. Physical stuff and kids. It's a thing. Next week on the show, of course, Sonny Von Cleveland. So we're going to close this out with some Grim Trigger, their song Walking Through Fire, and Casting Shadowz. Oh, yeah, we're playing Friday at Diesel. It's not a $5,000 Battle of the Bands. No. We are opening for the one and only Kaleido. They're going to be coming in town from California, I guess. Chris is from California. They're doing a show on Friday at Diesel, Saturday at the Music Factory out in Battle Creek. Super stoked to be on the bill with them on Friday. The Line Within, Jason Kane's new band, is going to be opening the show. Casting Shadowz follows right after. And once again, we get to open for Cyanide. They're going to be playing after that. And then Reckless Abandon, Direct Support, and then Kaleido. They're going to have a brand new song they're going to be debuting called Run. Make sure you head on out, check it out. I believe it's $10 at the door. Going to be a super good time. And it'll be our first time back at Diesel in like 6 months. So it's going to be cool to play Diesel again.
Yeah.
It's weird, like Casting for years and years would be playing Diesel 2 or 3 times a month. Now it's like, we haven't been back since last fall. Okay, right. I guess now's the time. So it's going to be super cool, super good time. Make sure you head on out, support all of your independent bands, no matter where they are, no matter what they're doing. Get out and find your next favorite band. So super cool. Grim Trigger, Walking Through Fire. Talk to you guys next week. Bye.
I'm walking through fire. I'm a fighter, chasing desire. I'm walking through fire. On the outside, looking at the inside, see the gleam of the dream in my eyes. Looking through the mirror just reminds me of all the time that I spent grinding. Put my back to the wall, stare them all down. 720 roll, taking over this town. There's something left to say when we come around. Stand up, stand tall, guns up. I'm walking through fire. I'm a fighter, chasing desire. Say what I'm walking through fire. One shot at the chance of a lifetime. Anything I believe I achieve, it's mine. Keep you at a distance, hoping you can find me. When all these rumors finally come unwinding. Ripping my chest as I scream at the skyline. Drop the bomb, mushroom cloud, watch it fade in time. I'll always have this fire in my eyes. Stand up, stand tall, guns up. I'm walking through fire. Chasing desire. Say what I want. I don't call the cops, I don't say no names. I'ma get the phone, I'ma call the gang. We ready. You greedy and petty, the brawl left. We the new kings, screaming the best yet. You skinny and running, we hungry and coming for the throne of the land. Middle finger for nothing. We the church of the people, a killer's confession. X means evil.